Do you ever find yourself just, staring at your screen, kind of caught in this loop of tasks? It feels more like digital quicksand than actual productive work, right? Imagine if that stuff, the endless data gathering, those meticulous email follow ups, maybe even just getting a first draft of some content out could simply handle itself. Not just automated, but like intelligently automated, freeing you up for the really complex, creative, or strategic challenges. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that shift. We're exploring the fascinating world where AI agents meet automation, specifically how platforms like n8n, sometimes called Notamation, are orchestrating this whole new way of working. Our mission here is really to unpack how these AI agents and sophisticated platforms like n8n aren't just saving a few minutes here and there, they're fundamentally changing how tasks get done. Everything from, granular data extraction right up to high-level business intelligence. We want to boil down the core ideas, the mechanics, the really impactful applications. So you walk away with, well, not just knowledge, but maybe a new perspective on what's actually possible now. Hopefully, you'll get a clearer picture of the strategic side, the practical aspects of getting started, and maybe even have some aha moments. Thinking about how this could reshape your own work or projects, or just spark some curiosity about where work is heading. Okay, so let's peel back the layers a bit. We hear this term AI agents thrown around a lot, but what are they really? Beyond the sort of sci fi movie idea, what exactly are we talking about when we mention these autonomous digital things?
Yeah, that's a great place to start. What's really compelling is that AI agents are, well, they're much more than just fancy scripts. Think of them as intelligent digital assistants. They're designed to perform pretty complex tasks autonomously. And they operate using a mix of things. Predefined instructions, sure, but also real-time data analysis and, crucially, machine learning insights. The key difference, the really critical part, is their ability to handle work without direct human intervention, once they're set up.
Ah, okay. So self-directing digital workforce almost.
Exactly. Constantly learning and adapting within whatever parameters you set for them.
So that autonomy, once it's configured, that's the real game changer. But what kinds of tasks can they actually tackle? Maybe some surprising ones. I think a lot of people still see AI as just, chatbots or maybe image generation.
Oh, the range is surprisingly broad and incredibly practical. For instance, they're brilliant at data scraping. And that's not just pulling a name off a website anymore. It's about systematically gathering huge structured data sets from all over the web for competitive analysis, market research, lead gen, all at scale.
Right.
Then there's email automation,
Hmm.
not just scheduling newsletters, but triggering personalized follow-ups based on what a user actually does. Or even, say, re-engaging leads that have gone cold.
Hmm.
Or think about lead generation. An AI agent can actively search the web, find potential client profiles based on criteria you set, and even qualify them before a human even looks at the list.
Wow.
In reporting, they can pull data from different systems, generate customer reports on a schedule, send them out to the right people, totally hands-free. And this is a big one, system integration, making sure all your different software tools talk to each other smoothly.
Like connecting the website sign up to the CRM automatically.
Precisely. Or syncing project management tools with finance systems, stuff that used to need a lot of manual work or custom code.
The efficiency potential there is just massive, clearly. But let's dig into the why a bit more. Is this mostly about cutting costs, or does it unlock maybe new strategic things for businesses? What's the biggest misunderstanding people have about why they should even look into this?
That's a really excellent point because while, yeah, cost cutting is often a factor, it's really a byproduct of something much bigger, a strategic shift. This isn't just about saving a few minutes. It's fundamentally reshaping the strategic game. For a small startup, maybe it means they can suddenly compete with bigger players on speed and scale in areas like lead gen or market analysis.
Okay.
For a larger company, it means shifting their skilled people away from repetitive admin tasks towards, strategy, innovation, actual customer engagement.
Right, focusing talent where it matters most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the biggest misconception, probably that AI automation is only for massive companies or that you need a whole team of data scientists. The reality is it's democratizing access to this high-level automation.
Mm.
Even individuals or small teams can leverage it powerfully.
So it changes how you allocate resources.
Fundamentally, it lets businesses scale up operations without needing to proportionally scale up human labor for all the background tasks. Which naturally brings up the question, how do you actually start using this power? Especially if you don't have a coding background or a huge IT budget.
And that, I suppose, is where a tool like n8n comes in, acting as this sort of visual command center for these digital assistants. n8n, it sounds a bit like a secret code, doesn't it? What actually is it, and what's special about it that makes this level of automation possible?
Right, n8n stands for no automation. It's a really powerful open source automation tool that bridges exactly that gap you mentioned.
Yeah.
Its main appeal, it's got this visual interface. You design workflows by dragging and dropping these nodes. Each node is like a step or an integration point.
Okay, so visual building blocks.
Exactly. It makes complex automation much more accessible,
Okay.
hiding a lot of the underlying coding complexity. It's built to be super flexible, connecting hundreds of APIs, databases, third-party services, all pretty seamlessly.
So it's more than just connecting A to B. It has serious integration power then. How many services can it actually connect with? And what are the key features that make it stand out if you're serious about this?
Oh, the breadth is really impressive. First off, a huge point is that n8n is open source and self-hostable.
Right, that's big for control and privacy.
Yeah, absolutely critical for many places.
Yeah.
It means you have ultimate control over your data, your workflows. You can run it on your own servers, DigitalOcean, AWS, Hetzner, Azure, whatever. That gives you data privacy, security, and you can customize it deeply. It's quite different from many SaaS-only platforms, though you do manage the infrastructure yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Second, it has just vast integrations. We're talking over 1,500 now, and it's always growing.
1,500.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's not just the number. It means you can build truly custom solutions. Think Google Workspace apps, Slack, Notion, Airtable, HubSpot, Salesforce, tons of common business tools. That connectivity lets you automate across your entire tech stack. Third, the customization is deep. You can use custom nodes, build complex logic. You can even write your own JavaScript right inside a node if you need to handle really specific data tweaks or connect to some obscure internal API.
So really tailored workflows.
Precisely. But here's where the AI part really comes in strong. It has robust AI integrations. And it's not just like a basic API call. You can embed intelligence directly into your workflows.
How so?
Think text generation for dynamic content,
Hmm.
or sophisticated decision-making based on analyzed data, sentiment analysis of customer feedback, for example.
Yeah.
You can connect to major AI providers.
Right.
OpenAI for powerful models like GPT, great for complex text generation or summarization.
Yeah.
Or Hugging Face, they have this huge library of open source models, maybe for more niche tasks like specific types of analysis.
Or
Anthropic, known for their focus on AI safety with their Claude models. Different strengths, different ethical considerations depending on what you need.
so you can choose the right AI brain for the job.
Exactly. And finally, it's super scalable. You can start with simple, single-step automations and build up to incredible complex workflows, multi-stage processes, conditional logic, error handling, running things in parallel. You can run it on a small server for personal stuff or scale it right up to enterprise cloud deployments. It grows with you.
Okay, so with all of the open source control, thousands of integrations, deep AI smarts, what kind of really ambitious things can people actually build? What are the real world uses where n8n truly shines?
Well, the applications are incredibly diverse, and they lead to real strategic wins. You can build extensive data scraping and processing workflows. Super useful for competitive intel, lead scoring, market trends, getting specific real-time info.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's CRM automation. This goes way beyond just capturing a lead. You can automatically enrich contact data, segment customers based on their behavior, trigger personalized follow-ups across different channels, all without anyone lifting a finger.
That sounds powerful for sales and marketing.
Hugely. And speaking of marketing automation, you can manage entire customer journeys, from the first ad they see, through email nurturing, tracking conversions, re-engagement, the whole life cycle. With the AI integrations, you can build really smart AI-powered workflows. Things like automatically summarizing news feeds for industry insights relevant just to you,
Oh, interesting.
or generating personalized ad copy variations on the fly, doing detailed sentiment analysis on mountains of customer reviews, even powering complex decision systems based on live data. And for folks focused on business intelligence, n8n is fantastic for building automated data pipelines, turning messy raw data from various places into clean, structured info ready for dashboards, analytics, leading to better decisions faster.
Let's make this really concrete. Those are great categories, but can you walk us through a specific, compelling project, something built with n8n that really shows off its power and the value it creates?
Yeah, absolutely. A fantastic real-world example is a project focusing on data scraping, using the Google Maps API for lead generation.
Okay, lead gen from Google Maps data.
Exactly. The strategic goal was simple but huge. Build a really comprehensive, highly targeted list of potential business leads. Imagine, say, a sales team needs to find all local businesses of a certain type in a specific area, get their contact info, maybe even understand a bit about their online presence. Normally, that's weeks, maybe months of manual grind or expensive data brokers.
Right. Super time-consuming or costly.
This workflow aimed to automate that whole process, start to finish.
That's a big challenge. So how did n8n actually do that? Walk us through the steps. How did it get from a Google Maps query to a usable lead list with extra detail?
Okay, so it was basically a carefully orchestrated sequence, four
Yeah.
key steps. First was data collection. The n8n workflow hooked directly into the Google Maps API. It programmatically asked for businesses based on specific criteria, like, all cafes within 50 miles of downtown.
Okay.
And boom, it pulls back structured data, names, addresses, phone numbers, and importantly, their website URLs. All super fast, way beyond human scale.
Got it. Step 1, grab the basics.
Step 2 was data cleaning and validation, because that raw data, it's kind of duplicates, maybe irrelevant stuff, incomplete info. So the workflow then ran a series of automated filters, deduplication logic, validation checks, to make sure the data was accurate, unique, and actually useful for lead gen. Maybe cross-referencing, standardizing addresses, using patterns, that sort of thing.
Cleaning up the mess. Makes sense.
Then step 3, and this is where it gets really clever, enrichment. The workflow took those website URLs it collected earlier and systematically visited each one. Used smart scraping techniques to pull out deeper insights.
Like what kind of insights?
Things like company descriptions from their About page, maybe lists of specific services they offer, pricing tiers if available, key people. And crucially for lead generation, it specifically scanned these sites to find publicly listed email addresses, direct contact points that are often buried or hard to find manually.
Finding the actual contact email. That's gold for sales.
Exactly. And finally, step 4, export and integration. After all that collecting, cleaning, and enriching, this refined, high-quality lead data gets sent somewhere useful. Could be a simple Google Sheet for a small team, or a dedicated database. Or, even better, pushed directly into their CRM system like HubSpot or Salesforce.
So the leads are immediately actionable for the sales team.
Precisely. Ready to go.
Wow. I mean, just imagine the time saved there and the quality, the sheer quantity of leads compared to doing that manually. It really is transformative for sales and marketing. Gives them a huge edge. So, okay, someone listening is inspired by this. They're thinking, I need this kind of smart automation. What's the practical blueprint? What infrastructure, what requirements do you actually need to set up your own n8n-powered AI automation?
Yeah, that's the crucial next question. How do you actually do it? You need to think about a few key pieces. First up, servers. You basically got two main routes here. You can self-host n8n, get a virtual private server, a VPS, from somewhere like DigitalOcean, AWS, Hetzner, Azure.
So you run it yourself?
Right. Gives you total control over your environment, your data, customization, often essential for data privacy, security, specific compliance rules. But the trade-off is you manage the server, the updates, the maintenance.
Okay, more control, more responsibility. What's the other option?
The other path is n8n Cloud. That's their managed hosting solution. They handle all the infrastructure stuff. You just focus on building your workflows. Less control maybe, but much less overhead.
Gotcha. So self-host for control, cloud for convenience.
Pretty much. The choice depends on your tech, comfort level, budget, security needs. Next, you need to think about subscriptions. If you go with n8n Cloud, obviously that's one subscription. Beyond that, you'll probably need accounts, maybe paid subscriptions with various AI API providers.
Like the ones you mentioned earlier, OpenAI, Hugging Face.
Exactly. OpenAI for their big language models, Hugging Face for maybe more specialized tasks, Anthropic for Claude if that fits your needs. Depends on the intelligence you want to embed. And for that Google Maps example we talked about, you definitely need a Google Cloud subscription to use their Maps API.
Right, the specific service APIs.
Yeah, and maybe optional things too, like an email validation service API, just to make sure the leads you collect are actually good.
Okay, so server choice, then the AI and service subscriptions. What else?
Well, that leads right into the APIs themselves. Beyond just the AI ones, you need the specific APIs for whatever services your workflow touches. Google Maps API for location data, like we said. If you're pushing leads to a CRM, you need the CRM's API credentials, sending notifications. You'll need Slack's API or an email service API.
They're like the bridges between n8n and the outside world.
Exactly. They're the connective tissue. They let n8n talk to and swap data with all these external services. It's really about picking the right mix of services and AI models to achieve whatever specific automation goal you have in mind.
It really does sound like having this incredibly versatile set of digital building blocks. You choose the right ones for the job, assemble them with a clear strategy. It's not just automating boring stuff, it's building custom intelligence exactly how you need it. So, wrapping up here, We've really explored how these powerful AI agents, when orchestrated by a flexible tool like n8n, can tackle those tedious tasks, yes, but also pull deep insights from data and genuinely streamline workflows on a strategic level. From automating really complex marketing campaigns to generating high quality leads with amazing precision, we've seen the possibilities are just vast and really impactful. And hopefully, you've seen that getting well informed about AI automation doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's about understanding the core tools like n8n, their practical uses, and crucially, how they connect to solve real problems and maybe free up human potential. The real insight isn't just knowing what n8n can do, but thinking about what it lets you or your organization do that maybe wasn't feasible or was just too expensive before. So, as you think about your own work, your own life, what's made one repetitive process, something that eats up valuable time right now that you could imagine an n8n powered AI agent taking on, freeing you up for more creative work, more strategic thinking, and maybe a bigger question, what new thoughts does this technology spark for you about the future of work itself? Especially thinking about the skills we'll all need to thrive as automation becomes even more integrated into everything we do.